Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. It is Saturday, December 17th, so you know what time it is. It's time for Wax Gaming Weekly Recap, where we try and go through all the top news from this past week and the upcoming events for next week in 10 minutes or less, we'll say. Usually it's a few minutes over, but we'll get right into this, so I'll try and squeeze it in under 10 minutes. There's a lot going on. A lot happened this week. A lot's going on next week. Some exciting stuff that's coming up here in the near future, especially right before the holiday. There's also a ton of holiday events going on. I'm not going to go through them all. I'm really only going to highlight one of them, but there's a lot of them. If you just keep an eye out on Twitter or in the Discords, there's a lot of chance for giveaways and throughout all the different Discords. So check those out. Make sure you're involved. Get a chance to win something fun. All right, let's go ahead and dive in with the first update that's happening. Realm for Season 6, they've released their schedule. It's kicking off here on the 19th. It was actually supposed to kick off last Wednesday. They ran into some issues. There's a lot of issues with the Wax blockchain that was impacting their build, so they wanted to give it some extra time to make sure that everything had kind of settled out before they kicked off Season 6. So it is now starting on the 19th, and it's going to go all the way through January 29th. They have a full schedule, lots of cool events coming up here. I'm really curious on the Christmas weekend bonus. I'm curious what they're going to include on that. That's the first time I've seen something like that. So lots of cool things happening. You can also get another one of the promos just by running a mission between the 21st and January 2nd. So there's lots of things to do. I hope you're getting ready for this season, because it's going to be different. The setup is going to be different, especially with the leader situation. Your regional leaders aren't going to be just dedicated to one region. You'll be able to flip-flop them out. So there's a chance to do setups. For example, a mission run setup, or a prepare for mission run setup, or an economy setup, however you want to do it. So there's chances for multiple setups, which means a lot more leaders have the potential of being utilized. So make sure that you do get ready for that and prepare for that if you plan on doing that in the long run. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of strategies roll out. I know what strategy I'm going to pull out on this one, and it's going to be definitely different than how it's been the last couple seasons. So I'm hoping I'll be able to make it in the top 50. You have to check out my season. I'm going to go ahead and throw a video out here probably on the 20th. Give it a few hours, 12 hours. From when the season kicks off. So keep an eye out for those episodes that will be coming here again on a weekly basis. Try and do that for you. All right, next is Taco. Taco Universe announced its Phase 2 roadmap. Love this. Absolutely love this. This just shows how much they're continuing to progress. They've planned out all of 2013. They even have some stuff in here for 2023. And they have stuff all the way out here for 2024. So they have a lot that's lined up, a lot of stuff that we didn't know about, some of the stuff we did know about. But the first thing that's going to be coming on the list is here in February. If you take a look at their Discord, they have a whole Medium article that goes through a lot of the details. But the first item that's going to be coming out is Automators. They're going to be here for February. They're going to be a combination of Brigade, Shing Collectors, but you're going to have to feed them with the new Omni coin. So lots of things to check out with that, but it's great to see that they're continuing to add utility and continuing to progress with the overall projects. Lots of fun things to see there. Next on the list is Novopangea. They also have something coming out, hopefully on Monday. It was actually supposed to come out last week, but they ran into an issue where they had to do some redesign in it, and they went through the testing this week. And they were doing the testing yesterday, and during the pack break yesterday, Mike did mention that they did have an issue. They ran into an issue actually during the pack break. So hopefully they're able to resolve that, and hopefully they'll be able to launch the residential buildings on Monday. They'll provide some details around that when it's launched. They also went through and did a cool event. If you went into the Novo Hub and you bought 3 residential buildings to prepare for this, they gave you one for free. I was able to get one of my space residential buildings, so it was awesome to have an additional one in there. I hope you all were able to get free ones. The event is over, so don't go in the Novo Hub, get 3 and expect to get a free one. The event is over, but it was nice to see that they went through and they actually did that for everybody. It was really neat to see. In addition to that, I do have to continue to highlight this, and I've mentioned it before. Every week, and they took a little bit of a break, but every week they do pack breaks. And the pack breaks right now for Chapter 2 packs, it's $85, and you get a number of packs and different giveaways throughout it. So you can go and do the high roller, I guess we call it, the big six, they call it, and buy into it and get all the cards. But even if you just show up to the event, there's a really good chance that you could win stuff, because they give maybe 10 things out. And if there's 20, 30, 40 people in there, there's a really good chance that you can win. I won one yesterday. I went to one, and I won a skilled worker. I know a number of other people that actually watch this channel were able to win one yesterday or have won in the past. Definitely worth checking out, especially if you have any interest in Novopangea, or you're already playing. There's a good chance to get free stuff out of that. And they're entertaining. We'll give Mike and Franklin the credit for that. They are very entertaining in that. All right, next on the list is Castles. They have a call coming up tomorrow. Well, actually, it's technically today at 1:30. I'm just for full transparency, I'm recording this on Friday, but technically it's when you're watching it, it'll be Saturday. So they are having an event at 1:30 Eastern on Saturday. It's going to give some additional information, get some player feedback, really talk through the stuff. If you saw my top 10 list yesterday that I posted, you saw I had some criticism with the way that they had made some changes recently. Overall, still love the project, so please don't take it as a negative thing. It's constructive criticism we'll call. Some constructive feedback, I guess, is a better term. So they're actually listening to the community. They're going to do a full AMA session. They got a lot going on there. So go ahead and check that out if you're available for it. They do record it, so you can go back and watch it on YouTube. They're going to be doing some giveaways if you're there, I'm assuming. Just a guess there. But they're going to have a lot of information that's going to happen for the next few steps. They have some updates that are coming. Baron update, if you check in the Discord, they're making some adjustments again to that, moving it back to strictly land. That was one of the things I didn't like, was they took the full land package away from the Barons. But I'm glad to see that they're listening to the community, but just please keep in mind they do have to keep their own interests up front, just to make sure that they can continue running. So I completely understand the changes, but also love that they're listening to the community. So I'm curious to see what adjustments they make coming out of this. All right, next is the Adventurers Guild. They have a new event that's going on, the Snow Star Festival. The passes are available. They did run into a small issue where they accidentally, the template for this pass was transferable. It wasn't supposed to be. So go ahead over to their Discord, check it out. If you're not familiar with the Adventurers Guild, it is a Discord-based game, RPG style. It's a fun game. I'm not necessarily a text-based, Discord-based fan, but really like the concept behind it. So go ahead and check that out. Next on the list is Farming Tales. They dropped by the time you're watching this, the blend will be over, but they dropped their second blend for the winery. They're basically giving 2% shares to anyone that blends 100 or I think it was 55 early adapter dioramas. And you get a little portion of the winery, which allows you to get the fees when people produce in there. You get a portion of that. So it's a nice little passive income for the game if you have that many dioramas that you can blend together. Next on the list is Immersys. They are doing their annual player poll. Basically, they are asking the players to provide some feedback of what they want to make a priority, different changes that they want to make. It's just a nice way to get feedback, and they're going to take this feedback and adjust their plans for 2023 to make sure that they are also taking the opinions of the fan base. I love when games do this. Mention this for Castles. Love Immersys is doing this also. So many games are listening to their player base, and I think that's going to help in the long run as far as continuing to keep the community together and also provide what the community wants with the builds. Obviously, they're not going to fully base the entire plan on the community, but they're going to definitely take our input, which is awesome to see. All right, we got Waxel World. This is the one event for Christmas that I did want to mention. If you're into the game, you can go ahead and start sending your ninjas out, and they'll come back with some of the different pieces for these blends, these Christmas blends that are going to be able to be used in the housing Housing system once that's available as decorations. Just neat limited time items that you can go ahead and get. I have been running my ninjas and I've been trying to get some of these. I don't have enough for a full blend yet, but trying to get it in there before the event ends. So keep an eye out for that. Especially if you have ninjas to run out there, it's a fun little event that they do. They've been trying to do these every holiday, so it's fun to keep the community involved. All right, next on the list is FGL. They have what they're calling the relaunch of Mecha World. That is kicking off here. Plus, they have a holiday dice event going on, which is their battle system. Definitely worth checking out. That's relaunching. Avalon the game, Avalon the Druids, whatever you want to call it, was supposed to drop this today. Today, the day I'm recording this, technically yesterday by the time you're watching this. Slight delay on that. They're hoping to launch alpha next week, so I'm hoping it'll get launched before Christmas, so we all have a chance to play before we get swept up with the holidays. So go ahead and check that out. If you're not into it yet, the alpha that's launching here shortly is only for gold passes. Silver and emerald passes will be down the road, probably, I would say, late to mid-February of next year. So go ahead and check it out. Gold pass is probably the way to go now if that's what you're interested in. Please don't take it as financial advice. You know the deal. And last but not least, Funko. This is probably, let's take a step back. They are doing a Funko NFT drop for retro toys. My personal opinion, probably one of the worst drops that they've done. It's fun to see, like the retro toys are neat, just not my cup of tea. Honestly, there's not a lot here that I think are interesting. I think it's Mr. Potato Head as Optimus Prime. I guess that's kind of neat, but not something I'm going to go out of my way for. Freddy Funko holding the game here. I forget what it's called, but the Hasbro shirt on. Not really that interesting. Stretch Armstrong. If you're familiar with Funko, they've had a Stretch Armstrong and a Stretch Armstrong chase that goes for like $10. I'm curious on why they went this route. I know there's a lot of retro fans out there. Furby. This is probably my favorite out of all of them. Let me know in the comments down below. Do you like these? Or are you a retro toy fan? Hopefully I didn't offend you. Which one's your favorite? This one's my favorite out of this line. I'm not something I'm going to go for, but it's, I guess, if you're into retro toys, you might be interested in this. All right, well, that is the weekly recap, and I probably lied because I think we're over 10 minutes, so I apologize. This went a little bit long. Just lots of cool stuff coming up, especially with the holidays, and I didn't even get to go through all the different holiday items. I hope you all have a fantastic day. If this is the last video of mine you watch before the holidays, have a great holiday season, and I will talk to you all later. Bye.